Well, we're back at it again. This time I got my camera hooked up a lot better, so give it a shot. But we're going to start on the rockers and put the rocker lockers in today. Make it happen, Captain. Get right with you. Okay, well, I'm back. I was able to remove the rear rocker box quite easily, actually. Didn't have any trouble at all. Worked perfectly. I thought I was really going to have a hard time, but it took me about a minute just to get it out of the rocker box. And this is either rocker box cover or rocker boxes right here. I did completely disassemble them. They marked where everything went, of course, so I wouldn't do it backwards. And I cleaned the pins and inspected them. They were perfectly perfect. There was no issues at all, not even wear mark. Here's the breather assembly. Harley Davidson says you're supposed to replace this whole breather assembly, but nobody's saying that you have to do that. So at the worst, I'll probably might replace the gasket, but that's it. Cleaned it up. Now I'm ready to install the rocker lockers. I did have a little bit of trouble when I took these pins out, putting them back in. This slid in just as easy as pie until it got to the next bore. So that tells me that these bores are not perfectly aligned. Harley's probably got a tolerance that's more than I would like. But I did have a little trouble getting the groove, the radius groove on there. Went in no problem. Sorry about that. I bumped my camera. Made it go off. Okay, there's one. Looks clean too. So we'll do the next one. Tapered end. Tell they're tapered, no problem. Okay, we'll do that. Nut. Goes in with no problem. Perfect. Okay. Very nice. Rocker lockers are in. Feels good. Feels beautiful, actually. And I'm going back to install it. Later. Okay. As I wanted to show you, this is the one I had to repair because I messed it all up. And this is what happens when you don't do them right. 2 hours to get that bad boy out and clean everything up, start over, and another kit and reinstall it. So make sure you get that radius on that pin exactly right before you put those rocker lockers in. And now we can install it. Okay. Well, I've installed the rocker lockers in the rear cylinder first. Like I said, I had no trouble getting this out at all. Just had to lift up the bolts and keep them flush on the bottom of the rocker box, and then with the rocker support plate, as they call it, and it came right out. Now you'll notice that there's a gap right there and right there. So basically you just tighten your bolts a little bit so you feel them snug, a little tension on them, and then you wait 5 minutes for the lifters to bleed back down. And it only takes about 5 minutes, and you'll notice it when you come back to torque it a little bit more. They'll bleed right down. It goes right flush. So looking good, brothers. I'm on my 5 minutes right now for the second 5 minutes, and it's working exactly as they said. So, cool. Later. Hey, what's up, brothers? So, it's been some time, but look, got her all done, right? And I just want to make a comment about this breather assembly here. Went to Harley Davidson to get the new gaskets, right? And, you know, the book said you must rebuild these if you pull them off. So I said, well, they look pretty good. So the inside pieces, of course. So I went to Harley to get the gaskets, and guess what? It comes complete with the diaphragm, the filter, everything for 16 bucks each. Right there, brothers. So it's brand new breathers on there, man. I got the rocker lockers in. You saw what I did to the one. That was it right here. And it's all fixed and everything. Everything is beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. This top end should be quiet as a mouse, okay? I'm so happy with it. Everything went together. There was no issue getting this out, this rocker box and the rocker support plate. Everything checked out. All of the clearances inside the rockers. There's a brass bushing on each side, perfect, not even aware. They were perfectly within tolerance. So I am so happy the way the top end came together. Okay, I did learn something else too. When you turn over the motor to get the cam and the rockers and the lifters, lifters, on what they call the base circle of the cam, you use the other cylinder right after the compression stroke, right when you start seeing these overlap, open, and then it will close. The intake will close. Right when it closes, boom, and then this starts to open. So right when they're both kind of moving like this side will be right loose on the base circle of the cam. Both of these rockers will be loose and ready to go when you pull them off. It worked perfectly. I had it backwards actually, but